Welcome to my channel. This is a channel about my cross stitch, and I'm glad to have you back to watch me for another week. I think what I'll do this week is get right into my cross stitching and show you my whips, my haul, my finishes, and my hit list. So let's start out with whips. For my whips this week, I was working on 3 different projects. The first project I'm working on all year, it has, I think, I should have checked, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think it has 11. I'll confirm that. If it's not 11, I'll put it on the screen below. But the first project I'm working on, as I said, all year, is going to be Country Cottage Needleworks Frozen Hot Chocolate Shop. It's part of the Snow Village series. So that is the Snow Village series. I'll post a picture of it on my on the screen for you so you can see it. And it's super cute, really love it. And here is my progress for this week. I finished, I had to pick out the top because I realized I had left a stitch out. So I picked that out and then I restitched it, and I did the umbrella, the hot chocolate, cups here, roof. I started the little window or the little banner on top. It's turning out really nice. I like it. I did take your advice and I didn't rip this out. I decided to live with the snow. A lot of you had great comments about, you know, snow is never even, which, good point. I don't live in the snow, so I didn't think about that. Just make the project your own, and I really love that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm leaving it. And then my other whip was Harvest by Hands On Design. And I completed the chock full jar portion, the bigger project, before previously, and I'll show that another time. But the Harvest Small I hadn't finished yet. So I worked on that this week and I finished it. So it's actually a whip and a finish. I haven't fully finished it yet. I'm going to try to work on that the next couple of days. So I think that turned out adorable. And then my third whip that I worked on was a freebie by Teresa Kogut, Be Well. And I worked on it about stitching only for about 8 hours. It was a pretty quick stitch. I did it on 14 count Aida, and I wasn't really paying attention to the stitch size of it. And it was much larger than I anticipated it being. But super adorable. I love it. I'll show you my finish. And I'll insert a picture of this on the side so you can see it. So I picked up the door at Target, and it was $7, and I threw it in my finishing pile. And I loved it because it says, be calm, stay home, be well, stitch on. Since it says stay home, I thought, how appropriate. I'll throw it on the door, front door. And I just used a black and white bow, and I used the Lady Dot Creates Polarized Chenille trim to make a little border around the edge. And I think it turned out pretty cute, pretty simple and cute. The yellow on the pattern, I used the Classic Colorworks Honeycomb. I used for the blue DMC 930. For the Stay Home and Stitch On wording, I used Witching Hour by Classic Colorworks, one of their new colors. The black on the bee is just some black I had. I believe it's DMC, but I'm not 100% sure. I didn't have any numbers or labels with it. And then I used on the needle on the bottom for the silver part, I used, the label said Susan Bates 0397. It was some floss given to me. When I searched Susan Bates online, it looked like it was associated with anger. I'm new to this art, so I'm not sure if that's accurate, but you can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. But I thought it turned out really nice, really cute. So I'm probably going to hang this in my craft room. It's been a very busy week. I didn't do a whole lot of stitching, but I did a whole lot of cooking, which any of you that have family at home or children still at home, you realize is constant. I had a war with a can opener, and the can opener won twice. I need a new can opener. Oh, if you have a good brand of can opener you could recommend that I can order online, please comment below and let me know. So I made some chicken parmigiana this week. Oh my goodness, it was so yummy. So I'll link the YouTube that I found the recipe on. A dear Italian lady made it. It was amazing. You would just love it. And I also made peach cobbler from scratch, and that was really yummy. And I'll probably be sharing that in a future video for you guys to make. And what else did I make? Oh, and this week I also made some face masks. Not pleasant and not fun to wear, but trying to do our part. So I just grabbed some fabric, some of our Polynesian fabric that we have for costumes, some scraps, and I made everyone some face masks, and I just put in some, darts, and I used hair ties, some bigger hair ties, elastic hair ties, and cut them in half to put in, just a pattern on one side, black on the other. And then I made some more girly ones. I found some pink fabric that we had, and again, using the hair tie elastic rubber bands that don't have any metal on them. I just cut them in half, sewed those in, and I started out making a few for my family, make one for each of my family members, and then my sisters, I have 3 sisters and 1 brother. My sisters wanted some of my sisters did, and their families, so then I made some for them, and then I made some for my nieces and nephews, and it just kind of kept progressing. So I made a lot of face masks this week, and hoping that it keeps everyone safe and keeps others safe if they have to go to the grocery store or to work. A few of my family members are still working. Their jobs are deemed needful, so they're out there in the field, and pray for them every day, as well as all your friends and loved ones, and all of you that are out there working every day. All right, let's see. I made a little list so I can keep on track. Oh, I wanted to talk to you about my videos. So, as I mentioned before, my son Hunter, he's my tech guy, and I said to him, I want to do Flosstube videos, which primarily is about my cross stitch, and show those. And then for fun, I want to add in stuff. Other videos, maybe cooking or crafting, thrifting finds or garage sale finds or repurposing, just a mix and match sort of thing. So he's like, okay, that sounds good. And so far, if you check out my channel, I have a video about making some cinnamon rolls. And I also have another video with just kind of some odds and ends stuff, talking about cloth diapers, and heaven forbid we have to use those again. Oh, but anyway, and just some other fun stuff. So we made kind of separate videos for those. And he came into me and he was like, Mom, what do you call the little pieces of thread that you don't use, the leftover, or the, you know, odds and ends. And I said, oh, we call those orts. And, you know, he's like, what? And I said, orts, O-R-T-S. And he's like, oh, well, I think you should call it something like that playlist of those other videos. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I love it. So I have two playlists on my channel. I have the regular Flosstube videos on one playlist, and then I have the ORT files. Now the ORT files, ORT stands for Other Random Thoughts and Stuff. So when you see a video called the ORT files, you'll know that those are other random thoughts I had and or stuff. So the ORT files are really fun and have a big variety to them. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. If you hit the bell, it will notify you with a little notification when I post a new video. And that way you don't miss all those extra fun videos, tutorials, and stuff. So thanks to my son Hunter for his great idea. And speaking of orts, I wanted to put a little ort in this video. So I had a bunch of jars of buttons my mom had given me. She had given me just jars full of buttons. And this one was full of buttons. And this one was full of buttons. And I was watching For the Love of Stitches, Tina's home tour. And while I was watching her home tour of her comfy home, it was so fun. On her video, she had a gumball machine filled with spools of thread. And I loved it. I lost it. I was like, oh my gosh, what a great idea. I have a candy jar, an empty bubblegum machine. But I don't have a lot of antique thread, spools of thread yet. I'm going to keep my eyes open for those. But I do have a lot of buttons, so I thought I'm going to put buttons in my gumball machine. So I got my gumball machine and I grabbed all my jars of buttons, and I'll insert a picture of this. And I put them in here. I decided as I was going through the buttons and looking at them for fun that I would keep the real colorful, fun, unique ones out of the gum machine and just keep them in this jar so I could use them to put on top of projects or, you know, use them basically use them to add for embellishments to my crafting, my cross stitch projects. That's my plan. So I kept one jar of them out to have quick access to all the colorful fun ones. I'm going to insert a video and some pictures of this at the end of this video so you can watch it. And then I love this jar. I thought it was really ornate and nice. And I did have a couple of spools of old wooden spools of thread. So I'm going to start my collection and keep those in here. And eventually someday this will be full of antique spools of thread. So that was what occupied most of my week. As I mentioned before, I am a realtor here in Arizona, and I'm selling a house across town. Oh, her house is closing this week. Worked on that all day. And then as I was driving home, I was listening to the radio, and I haven't been on the radio for a while, and I was channel surfing, and I hit 99.9 KEZ, and they were playing Christmas music, and I was like, wait, what's going on? Because I know I'm out of touch, but I didn't understand what the Christmas music was about. So I was talking to my niece, and she said, well, on Instagram and a couple other places, they're kind of encouraging everyone to put their Christmas lights back up on their home as, you know, I think a symbol of community, love, thinking of each other, just for some enjoyment since we're all staying home. And so I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's why they're playing Christmas music. But really, I just thought they were trying to mess with me because I already don't know what day of the week it is. what the date is. And now I'm not going to know what season it is either, because I'm going to think it's Christmas. I love Christmas, but the Christmas music kind of threw me off a little bit. So I thought that was kind of a funny story to share with you. My hit list. I didn't talk about my hit list. Now that I finished 2 of my projects, I mentioned last week that I'm going to start my Memorial Day hands-on design, God Shed His Grace on Thee pattern. I haven't started it yet, so it's all kitted and ready to go. I'm just going to do it on white fabric. I have some white Aida I'm going to throw it on. I want it to be nice and big. I have 14 count Aida, so I'm going to do this project. I am going to start this week. This is on my hit list for this week. And then also, I think I'm going to start Spring Fling. I know Easter is this coming weekend, but still kind of in the spring mood. And so I'm going to start Spring Fling by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread, and I'm going to do the bunny. Really cute. I am going to use some purple fabric that I have, light purple fabric. I believe it's a 14 count Aida as well. So, I hope the color is showing up good for you. So light purple. I think it'll be really pretty. If I threw the floss up on it and it looks nice, I think it will pop. So I'm going to start that. That's on my hit list for this week. I'm still mulling around my May Mania plan. Hope to share that with you next week. A bunch of you gave me some great comments about Mania. What do you like to do? What other people do? And I think I'm kind of zoning in on my plan. Please share as you think about Mania in May, if you're going to participate, what your plans are. I would love to hear them. Comment below. It was great seeing all the comments over the past few weeks. I love them. I will always try to respond to the comments if I can. And if I don't respond, I might try to answer them in one of my videos. So keep commenting. I love it. Okay. I think I handled all of this one. Oh dear. I'm being silly. Being silly awful early. All right, let's go over a little bit of a haul. As I mentioned, I did a bunch of shopping before we kind of locked down, hunkered in, and I did some online shopping as well. And so things are still kind of rolling in. You're going to see it taper off drastically. I've received most of the things I had ordered. When I went to the attic, I picked up these little bundles of wool pieces. I think I'm going to try to do like a needle book in the future. I thought it would be good to have these on hand. They're just little random pieces of wool. So I got those. And I picked up some at the attic also, Aida 16 count gray by Fabric Flare. And I plan to use this on a future Halloween piece. I haven't assigned a piece to it yet, but a pattern to it yet, but I know I picked it up with the intention of doing some Halloween. I think that will be pretty. Or it should be spooky. Then I also picked up from Fabric Flare from the attic, 28 count. It's called Berkshire Hive. I think that's what it says, Berkshire Hive. And it's got the bee hive pattern on it. I have several bumblebee bees patterns, so I'll do some of those on that. My Snow Village, the next, I'm part of the Fat Quarter Shop, the club for that. So the next pattern arrived for that is called Snow Boutique. It's by Country Cottage Needleworks. That one arrived. I also received my Little House Needleworks. It's called Sampler Heart, and if you purchase the 3 threads with the pack, it came with a free chart. So here's a picture of the chart. And here are the threads. Really pretty. Chesapeake Bay Lighthouse. And the third one is Mariner's Compass. So if you purchase these, it came as a kit. You got the free pattern. So I thought that would be a quick little fun stitch to do. I think I'm going to add this to my hit list actually, so I'm going to put it in this other pile. I ordered a Lucky Charm from Fat Quarter Sharp. It's a DMC thread pack and it comes with a free Lucky Charm chart. And so I picked up that kit. I don't have any St. Patrick's Day cross stitch projects, so I thought that would be a fun little stitch. And I have this tree on the side here by the front door, and I do different holiday decor on it all year long. It stays out. So I do Valentine's Day first, and then after Valentine's Day, it becomes an Easter tree, which it is now with Easter eggs. And then after Easter, I think I put up May Day or Mother's Day, and I cover it with flowers. Then it goes into 4th of July. After 4th of July, I put up, July, so I kind of leave 4th of July up longer until I put out my Halloween. So I put up Halloween, I do a Halloween tree. And then after Halloween, I put up my Thanksgiving fall tree up. And then that stays up until I put up Christmas. And then I start again. So I'm going to do I'm going to do a bunch of cross stitch ornaments for that tree as well to put up. And it's really fun. My grandson enjoys it, and I enjoy it. Back to haul. I have also from Blackbird Designs, 'Tis Halloween. And I saw that Brenda showed a bunch of little mini stockings. Oh my gosh, they were so cute. So I'm going to do some of those eventually. I need to get with it. I got a lot of projects. Heartstring Samplery, I picked up Cross Stitch Nation, and the pattern, the piece says, I belong to the Cross Stitch Nation. I thought that was really nice. Fun, we'll do that one. Teresa Kogut, I have her Beautiful Garden. Then I have Happy Scarecrow. And Snow Penny. Hands-on Design, I picked up one of the older patterns. It's called Rose Cottage. Roses are my favorite flower. And I also received Blackbird Design Summer's Last Rose. Oh, this book's beautiful. The patterns in it are just gorgeous. And I received my Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. I subscribed for the year, and I received my book filled with so many adorable patterns by different designers. And I also got from Fat Quarter Shop the Spring Tulips Fancy Floss Pack for spring. And I'm going to stitch Priscilla and Chelsea's piece on the front with that. So that kind of wraps up my haul. Okay, I wanted to answer one of the comments from one of my last videos. The comment comes from Julie, and Julie wanted to know, well, let me read her comment. Julie asked, hi, when you were sharing about your family, I was like, oh my gosh, is this a couple from 90 Day Fiancé? I see you're not though. Their dancing is fantastic. Do you have, or have you ever visited Samoa? Would you be interested to hear how you met your husband? if he didn't grow up in the USA. Your grandma's ornaments are so pretty, a beautiful heirloom. I don't think I've seen another Valentine tree. Good idea. Your market haul was fun and, in my opinion, not overboard. Market only comes once a year and it's fun to celebrate all the creativity. I got all of Teresa Kogut samplers. We're doing our part to make sure the cross-stitch business survive this difficult economic time. I couldn't agree more, Julie. So to answer your questions, I giggled when I read 90 Day Fiancé. That is not my family. Although my husband did meet Asuelu, I think his name is, when he was visiting his family in Utah. He ran into them at a dance. So he has met him, but we're not related. And also, he did not grow up in the USA. He was born in San Francisco, and then about age 6, my husband's family moved back to American Samoa, where he grew up. And then after high school, he lived in Hawaii for a short period of time, and then came to California and lived there. I was away at college, and his sister was my roommate in college. And so he came to visit her and ended up moving to the college town that we lived in. And we met, we all hung out in a group of friends, and then it just kind of went from there. To make a long story short, if you've ever seen Samoan slap dance, you could Google it. It's called a Samoan slap dance. And it mocks up how they slap the mosquitoes. Well, he did that for me, and I was gone. I was like, So, you have to check that out. Love the culture. They're very loving, warm, giving people, and they just are all about family and friends, and it's a great, great culture. So I'm really happy to have that in my life. And let's see if you had any other question you want me to answer. Thank you so much for joining me, and don't forget to visit my channel and check out all those Ort files. And I'm going to be posting an easy peasy bread recipe later today, and I think I'll do peach cobbler later this week. Subscribe, hit the bell, and like the video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.